Alright, hello guys, so we're on to 8.2, proving similarity by using angle. So this is where we're talking about just angles only, proving that triangles are similar, not congruent, using angles and angles. Given we talked about triangle congruency last semester, we talked about side, angle, side, etc. So now we're just proving them, kind of reviewing, but for all polygons this time instead of just triangles. So just to recap on vocabulary, we have our similar figures, and similar figures in layman's terms, we said they are same shape, but different size. Same shape, different size. Okay. So same shape, different size for similar figures, and then similarity transformation. This is where we're taking dilation. So we can dilate a figure plus any of the other transformations. And we named off a few last time. One transformation is translation. Then we had rotation, where it was to turn. And then we had reflection. So they're similar in shape, but we dilate it, making it either big or small, and then it might be turned, slid over, or reflected. Okay, so that is just in your own terms. Write the meaning. So this will be my meaning, and but you are more than welcome to write your own meaning. So we're on to our theorems. We have 8.3 angle similarity theorem. So it says for two angles of one triangle, if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the two triangles are similar. So if I have two out of the three, then they are similar. Note this little symbol here means similar, and this symbol here means congruent. So those mean two different things. These are similar, but not necessarily verbatim congruent to each other, just because of the size factor. Okay, so that is 8.2, those that we're going through. So we're going to go dive into the extra practices, because that's going to be the best way I can give you examples. So turn to page 13 or turn to the next page. And we're already on to our first example. See, that was really short notes. So these probably last about 10 minutes. So number 1 and 2 is asking for determine whether the triangles are similar. And if they are, write a similarity statement. And so I have BAC and also have DFE. Well, I know that E and A are congruent because they're both 90 degrees. So I can go ahead and say angle A is congruent to angle E. Done. And it says D is 75, but B is 15. But as far as placement goes, B should be congruent to F, but we don't know that yet. So now this is where we kind of review from last semester, trying to find the missing angles of a polygon. So in this case, we have a triangle, and how would I find this missing side called F? Well, I can add them up and subtract from 180, because the sum of the measures, if we remember from last semester, is 180 degrees. Okay, so I would take 75 plus 90 plus angle F, that's what we're trying to find, equal to 180. So I have 75 plus 90 plus angle F, and 75 plus 90 is 165, and then I need to subtract both sides, and I get angle F equaling 15. So angle F is 15 degrees. So now I know verbatim that is congruent to B. So angle B is congruent to angle F. Okay? So now I've proven two of them. I needed two angles, and so I'm done. And so now I need to write the similarity statement. So this is where we're choosing triangle. Let's say ABC is similar to triangle. This is where the order matters. So we said angle A is congruent to E, so E has to go first. And then we said B is congruent to F, so F goes next. And so the last one is C, and it'll be congruent to D on this side. Okay, so that's how you write your similarity statement. So on to number 2. I need to prove that they're similar. But let's find my missing angles first, because who knows? Maybe A is congruent to E, so on and so forth. But we do know angle F is congruent to angle C. But I need one more angle to prove that these are similar triangles. So let's do the same thing for this one. I need to solve for A. So I have 180, and I'm going to subtract it from the sum of 116 plus 30. It's just another way of me writing it. And that's going to give me angle A. So I have 116 plus 30. I get 146. So 180 minus 146. And I get 34. So angle A is 34 degrees. I'm going to do the same thing for E. So I have 30 plus 44. So 30 plus 44 gives me 74. I'm going to subtract that from 180. I get 106. So angle E is 106. Even though I have these two that match, I don't have any other angles that match each other. So this is not, these two are not similar triangles. No similar triangles there. I have to have two of them. I can't just have one. So on to 3 and 4. So number 3 is to show that the two triangles are similar. So we know they're similar. We just have to write the similarity statement to show it. So I like to go with what is congruent to angle A. Well, what's congruent to angle A is angle B. Okay, see how that works? So what's congruent to angle A is angle B. And then, or another way to say angle B is you can say angle CBD. You're still talking about the same thing. CBD is still angle B. And then I have E. So E is in this corner and is congruent to B. Or another way to say this would be angle CDB, going the other direction. And these triangles, they share an angle. This is where that reflexive sides and reflexive angles come in. So they share an angle, and that is C. So these triangles are similar, and I showed you that two of them are congruent to each other. So two angles are congruent to each other. So my triangles are now similar. So I have triangle ACE, and the way that I'm writing it, so I have ACE is similar to triangle. I have to write it in order, so I have A first, and A is going to B. And then I said E is congruent to D, and C ends up being in the middle because that is the one that they share. Alright, so number 4 is a recap of what we did on our last unit, and this is a parallelogram. And so if we know about parallelograms, opposite sides are congruent, or opposite angles are congruent, and opposite sides are also congruent. So, and we also are going to break up alternate interiors. So remember that alternate interior angles, that's going to come back up in this one as well. So let's say I have angle SQR because it broke it up. So I'm looking for SQR. So just this side. Now it wouldn't be the other side. That's not how that works, because then it'd be way bigger than what it's supposed to be. So we're looking for this angle, and you guessed it, it would be this other side right here. And that angle is angle QSP. QSP. Okay? And then I'm going to look for the other side. So I have this angle, which is QSR. So QSR here is congruent to the other side, which is angle SQR. So those two are congruent to each other. So now, or if you notice, I would do 1, 1, and this is 2 and 2. You notice that on the board that we've done recently. And so my triangles are similar. So triangle PQS is similar to triangle RSQ. Okay, so that is how to do number 4. Now on to the next page, there's quite a few things we're going to check out. We're going to take off number 8, and we're going to take off number 12, and then 14 and 15. You're more than welcome to figure this out for your own for extra credit. However, I'm only requiring the ones that I didn't cross off. So now I'm looking at AGB. So I have AGB. So I'm looking for this tiny angle right here. But I'm already given 2 other ones. So now all I have to do is find my third one. So I have 90 plus 63. So 90 plus 63 is 153. And take 180 and subtract it from it, because remember the sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. The sum of a quadrilateral is 360. So when I subtract 180 from 153, I end up with 27. So this angle is 27 degrees. So now I'm looking for EGD. So I have EGD. Note these two have very similar triangles. And these are also vertical angles. They're vertical angles. So EGD is also 27 degrees. So think vertical angles here. Now I'm looking for BCG. So I have BCG. Note this is also a right triangle because it's on the other side on a straight line. And it's very similar to ABG. And so that means G is congruent to A, or C is congruent to A. So this one is 63 degrees. Okay, so that's 63 degrees. Going on to number 9, we're looking for AB. What's congruent to AB? That would be BC. And BC is 3. Then we're going to go to FE for number 10. So FE is just this part only. But the whole thing is 3. So how do I find just part of it? Well, you would just divide by 2. So I have FE is 3 over 2, or you can say 1.5. 3.5 kind of makes it easier. No, we have to put it in the calculator that way. But I will accept either answer. Then we're on to ED. ED is just the other half of this part. So that's also 3 over 2. Okay. Then I'm left with the last one, AGC. So I have A, G, and C. So AGC is that whole triangle. And what's congruent to AGC? Well, A is congruent to D because it's on the opposite side. And then C would be congruent to F, and G shares. So DGF would be 13. Okay, and that concludes our 8.2 note. So on the next page we have your puzzle, and so feel free to work on that as you are finished, and 8.3 will be next. Thank you.